Hey everyone, so this video will be a little bit shorter than most, but not as short as I had originally anticipated. There's not a lot of information out there about this case, but I did feel compelled to share it with everyone. Let's talk about the disappearance of the Matory sisters, including Yolanda Williams, as well as Sir Kristopher Marshall. So first, a little bit about the family structure. In the 1960s, Yolanda Williams was married to a man named James Williams. The couple lived in Compton, California, about 17 miles south of Los Angeles and part of Los Angeles County. They had a daughter together, Yolanda Williams, who was born on September 5, 1969. Yolanda also had two daughters of her own. Ivy Matory was born on January 12, 1965, and her sister Violet on September 27, 1967. So Violet and Ivy were Yolanda's half-sisters. In 1976, James Williams was charged with molestation and rape from acts he had allegedly committed against his stepdaughter Ivy. After this, he and Yolanda separated. The night of July 20th, 1977 probably started out like many others in the Williams household. In addition to 32-year-old Yolanda, 9-year-old Violet, 12-year-old Ivy, and 7-year-old Yolanda, they had a guest staying with them that night, 3-year-old Sir Kristopher Marshall. It's not clear what his relationship to the family was. Around 4:30 in the morning, I assume in the early hours of July 21st, the house caught fire. The fire started in the children's bedroom and soon engulfed the entire house. Yolanda's body was found in the front of the house, and an autopsy would later reveal she had been strangled. A trail of blood led from the house to a nearby alley. None of the children were in the house. Around 5:30 on the morning of July 21st, James Williams was reportedly sighted with the children at a Denny's in Grapevine, California, just over 90 miles north of Compton. Later that day, a friend who met up with him in Riverside, which is much closer to Compton, said the kids weren't with him. James was questioned by police that day but later released. He denied knowing anything about Yolanda's murder or even being in the area at the time. However, he was arrested for her murder the next day. When James was arrested, he had a cut on his hand. He said his car had broken down and he had gotten the cut trying to repair it. But could this cut have been the cause for the trail of blood outside the Williams home? The next month, he was also charged with the murders of all 4 children, even though they hadn't been found and he refused to say where they were. The theorized motive for these murders was that the children were set to testify against him in his upcoming molestation trial. I assume his main target was Ivy, as she was his alleged victim, and it's possible Violet, Yolanda, and Yolanda were set to testify as well. Since Sir Kristopher was so young and not related, I assume he was unfortunately in the wrong place at the wrong time. James Williams did end up going on trial for murder. One source said he was convicted of Yolanda's murder. Another source said 2 trials ended in deadlocked juries and all charges against him were ultimately dismissed. Whatever did happen, he has since died. In 2014, Ivy's skeletal remains were found in Corona, California, about 40 miles east of Compton. Her page on the Charlie Project wasn't updated with this information until 2019. I'm not sure if her body wasn't identified until then, or if they just didn't realize her body had been found, possibly due to lack of media coverage. None of the other children have ever been found. I have seen speculation on web sleuths that Ivy was killed separately because she was James's primary target, being his alleged molestation victim. I've also seen speculation that the St. Louis Jane Doe is Yolanda Williams. This Jane Doe was found in an abandoned building in St. Louis, Missouri in February 1983. She was a black female between 8 and 11 years old, which would have matched Yolanda as well as Violet at the time of their disappearances, and she had been sexually assaulted before being strangled. The St. Louis Jane Doe wasn't found until 6 years after the children went missing, and she'd only been dead for a few days when she was found. So to say her body belonged to someone who was in this age range years earlier is a bit of a stretch. Violet Bobby Matory was 9 years old when she disappeared from Compton, California, late July 20th or early July 21st, 1977. She's a black female, 5 feet tall and 115 pounds at the time of her disappearance, with black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, blue jeans, and multicolored flip-flops. If she were alive today, she would be 53 years old. Yolanda Marie Williams was 7 years old when she disappeared. She's a black female who was 4 feet tall and 55 pounds at the time of her disappearance, with black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a blue jumpsuit, and a few sources gave her middle name as Maria instead of Marie. If she were alive today, she would be 51 years old. Sir Kristopher Clayton Marshall was 3 years old when he went missing. He's a biracial male who was 3 feet tall and 37 pounds at the time of his disappearance, with curly, reddish-brown hair and brown eyes. He has a scar on his back, another on his right eyebrow, and scar tissue on his feet and ankles. He sometimes goes by the nickname Turkey Legs. If he were alive today, he would be 47 years old. If you have any information about the disappearances of these children, you can contact the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department's Homicide Division at 323-890-5500. Be sure to reference case number 772-022-420. So that's all I have for you today on Violet and Ivy Matory, Yolanda Williams, and Sir Kristopher Marshall. Like I said, there's not a lot of information out there about this case, and I don't think it got very much media attention, but I did want to share what I could find. Now that Ivy's body has been found, I do think there's hope for the rest of the children also being found, whether dead or alive, and their families can finally have some answers. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.